I've tried to write about how I love the beginning of Philly Upside Down. It's just such a,
Love it.
yeah.
Love it.
And
It's the most unsettling intro. Like it's definitely one of the most unsettling intros ever. It's so good.
the world's upside down. Boom. Like, you don't even have to tell us. You just, okay, I get it. Something funky,
Yeah.
something, and then at the end, it just shows Philly looking normal. So it's bookended really well. But I used to pitch this so much, writing about how much I liked Ramirez in here. And I have a question.
Yeah.
So everybody was supposed to be there, just to lose faith, or so the devil brings everyone there for a reason. Everyone's brought there for a reason. Why was Ramirez there?
No, Mark, you tell me.
Do you think to lose faith? So he seems like a very devout man. And the devil might have thought, I'm going to have this really devout Christian who knows about devil's meetings. Or I think he seems Roman Catholic from what I've read. And so they're saying, I'm going to have this guy watch, this man of faith watch as I murder these people, and he's helpless, which will demoralize him. Do you think do you think so?
No, I think that's a good explanation. Cause like, yeah, he is the narrator though. So maybe because like there's this whole thing with Detective Dude. What's his name again? Detective Dude.
Detective Bowden.
Bowden, yes. Cause he says he doesn't believe in the devil. So maybe it's more like a thing of, like this whole juxtaposition of believing in the devil and believing in the story and not doing that. Maybe he was just there to like for affirmation, like, yeah, dude, here I fucking am.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I like your way of thinking about it because that makes sense too. But interesting. I didn't think about it like that way. Like, why was he there? But probably just to shake his faith or like, yeah, show him, yes, the story is real.
Yeah, I guess for expository dialogue. The devil knew a movie was being made, so they wanted him there.
Yeah, didn't even think of that either.
Oh, and one more random thing for you. Did you know that what was her name? Sarah Caraway, in there, she had a circular bracelet, and so it's a bunch of circles going around her wrist, and they really focus on that a lot in the movie. And so I researched it, and the circle tends to mean infinity. So that could have been another, like, a red herring as to her being the devil. If you watch it again, notice how, so in the opening scene where everyone gets on the elevator, I liked how they put the salesman in the back because he was the tallest. And then he's looking at everyone and he checks her out, everything like that. But he's looking at everybody and you get a layout of the elevator and who's in there. But yeah, she puts her hand back, you see the circle, she does it again, you see her bracelet, and at the end you see her bracelet. So they kept showing it. I think they were trying to red herring us.
Yeah, no, I hear you. That makes sense. Ooh, I'm so going to watch this again after we've had our chats.
And I hope you get as excited as me, because it's weird when, I'm a 37-year-old man watching Devil and going, oh my gosh, did you see that? But I mean, if you write about film and teach film and can't geek out about it, then you probably shouldn't be doing it.
No, exactly. I mean, this is why we're fans. Like, we're not afraid to say that we love the shit out of something, Like, I mean, but listen, do you think when they did the casting for this movie, they actually asked the actors, like, does anyone suffer from claustrophobia? That's like the kind of question you have to ask before you cast people to film a thing like this. Because, like, I read, like, it was also a bit of a challenge in the sense that, all the actors that die early, the rest of the movie, they just play corpses.
They did.
So, that's like not the funnest thing for an actor to do. Like, I mean, just lie there and try not to breathe. And so that's also like, if you think about that, it's quite a challenging little number to shoot.
And what I like about it is the director, John Eric Dowdle, who also did Quarantine, which I really liked, the remake of Wreck. And he did As Above, So Below, which I really enjoyed. Have you watched As Above, So Below?
Yes, and I love it. I love it.
Isn't it
Big
so
fan.
good? Oh, it's so good.
So good.
So good. And all right, I'm not going to spoil the ending, but I love the ending of it. But he told the actors in advance that he wanted them there being dead. So I guess going into it, and it was a 40-day shoot. How much time? So they probably spent probably 3-4 days, 5 days maybe outside in like Philly, around there, and then in Toronto. And then they had Matt Craven and his security guards. That was probably 3-4 days. And then they had the elevator shaft, the guy upstairs, the window. So I bet these actors who are in the elevator probably did 20 days, maybe. Maybe a month of being around. So I guess that's not too bad. If you're acting for 10 and then you just lay around for another 2 weeks, I guess that's not too much of an investment, is it?
Well, not if you're claustrophobic. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm full on claustrophobic, but I don't like small spaces. So that would have been tough for me personally. That's why I say, like, I'm sure none of them have had a problem with it. Because I think someone that does, like, I think it'll be too much, because it's not only them, it's like all the camera crew and everyone also in there. Like, I think, yeah, it's not something I would do personally.
No, thank you. I mean, Matt, like hot in studios too. You can't have the air on, so it gets all hot. Well, actually, I think they shot in October, so it might have been kind of cool in the stage they filmed on. That might have not been too bad in Toronto. That'd be pretty chilly. So that might be a positive. But yeah, so they would fit the camera person, the assistant camera person, and the boom guy into the elevator with 5 actors. Oh, that's not fun. I had to play. No. I had to play dead in a movie once. And,
oh yeah.
Yeah, so I was hired to be this stormtrooper type thing in a movie, not an actual stormtrooper, but like a guard, someone that was dressed like one. And I was working on the movie, and they threw me into it because I could fit into the costume. But the AD guy put me in a position that was so uncomfortable that by the time all the people were done rappelling and everything, like my knees were buckling, my head, like my neck was hurting, and they did it on purpose. So take after take, I had to lay in the most uncomfortable position, while other dead stormtroopers just got to lay there. Not real stormtroopers, but they just got to lay there sleeping. And so that was not fun. So yeah, I wouldn't want to lay in that for 2 weeks. You're right. No, thank you.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Like, I have a similar story, but like on stage, because I did stage acting, and where I had to die on stage and then lie there for like 10 minutes. But the way I fell the one evening, I couldn't get up after it because my leg just went absolutely numb. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess in this type of scenario, you can at least like put everyone neatly where they're supposed to be, but still, they're lying there with like makeup and prosthetics and stuff because they've just died. And yeah, I think it's a challenge. It's a challenge. So well done to them.
You know what else I thought was interesting? They always wanted this to be a PG-13 movie, but there's a decent amount of blood and terror in it. So it doesn't feel like an egregious, like, I kind of like movies that aren't just R to be R. I think they made it, there's enough gore in this, I think, to satiate gorehounds, is there?
Yeah, I think so too. Like, I read they actually had to fight to not get the R. They were very adamant on PG-13, and they got it at the end. But yeah, I mean, I think because of the fact that they don't actually show us killings, like we see the deaths, I think that's what maybe made it a difference, because yeah, there's definitely enough like blood and gore and stuff, for people who, like want to see that. But yeah, I mean, in saying that, when Salesman dies, I think that was kind of like, the grossest one, where he was just like lying there, dying out, shaking, like spastic. I think that was probably the grossest.
Yeah, I would say so. Because the other one, Bokeem Woodbine, Larson just gets his head ripped backwards, and then the other lady is hung.
Yeah, the hung lady was, I think, the one that like kind of shocked me the most, because you didn't expect to see that. Mm-hmm. And just the way, the angle that they shot it to was like, ooh. Listen, but on that note, why does the devil look like a mummy?
Yeah, I have no clue.
What's that?
Yeah, that's weird, right?
Why, Mark?
Okay, why does it... Okay, let's unwrap this. So, what's interesting is the guard in the beginning that's not there, that Larson takes over for it, his name is Ramsey. And Ramsey was Egyptian pharaoh, so maybe...
Ooh.
There's a bunch of Ramses. I don't know, so maybe they were going for an Egyptian vibe. Maybe the devil was feeling like being saucy. Maybe...
I like that. He was feeling saucy. Yeah. Like, let's do a dress up this time around.
I mean, just getting people's heads. You saw the way that she kind of ran towards Larson when it first got dark. He's like, I was stuffed into a thing for 6 hours. They got everyone paranoid there. She got blood onto the salesman. I think, I'm just going to dress like a mummy. And I'm gonna do little grain faces for Ramirez just to mess with him. I think the devil's just having a blast.
It's just having fun.
Well,
no, but I'm telling you, there's something more there. Like, I'm telling you.
Isn't that movie Bedazzled too with Elizabeth Hurley? Doesn't she take different forms as well?
That is true. But it was just like weird because the face that we see in the security footage, it looks like he's like there you can't really see it. But then when we see that flash with where it clearly looks like he's wrapped up in some kind of rags or toilet paper or whatever.
Yeah.
Then you realize, oh, but the face also kind of looked like ripped and rags and, like raggedy.
Maybe.
I just thought, well, that's interesting. And I was like, I'm not going to research this. I'm going to ask you about it.
Maybe the devil just used some assistance because the devil she hung herself. Maybe she needed some help from some hell lackeys or I don't know. I'm stretching there. You got me on that one. Normally I have an answer.
Yeah. I also can't seem to really put my thumb on anything that can at least be somewhat true and exciting at the same time. But yeah, I like the fact that she does hang herself. And it's like, with what? With those bloody rags.
If we're in that elevator and it's dark for 5 seconds and then someone's hung in a corner when no cables were out, would we think something is well, because that thing got broken, but that's kind of fishy, right?
I would immediately be very paranoid about what, on the roof of the elevator, like on the outside.
Like a Twilight Zone.
I would immediately be like, there's something out there. Because how the hell do you hang someone in an elevator? Like, it would make sense from above. So I would immediately be very paranoid about, no, don't open that hatch. Don't go out there. Like,
yeah.
I guess.
It's like that William Shatner Twilight Zone episode? There's something on the wing.
Yeah.
What do they call them? Goblins? No, gremlins? Oh, that'd be terrible.
Yeah, no, I would probably rather have that than Mummy Devil. I don't know. Mummy Devil freaks me out.
This is really bothering me. Maybe when we take a break, I'll do a quick Google search because I gotta know.
Sorry.
Maybe, it was cast down from heaven and it didn't want to show its face.
Yeah, I wonder because with the Ramsey connection that you just made, like, there might be something there. Let's Google and come back to this one.
All right, so how about this? Let's take a quick break right now, and then when we come back, we'll see if we can find an answer for what we're talking about. All right, so we'll be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks, and I think the closest answer I have is they were just a fan of the Silent Hill video game that had those nurses with the rat faces. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think of all the non-answers we have, that's the best theory. And yeah, Shyamalan has said before, like he does a lot of nods to other movies and other stuff like he's a fan of. He's not afraid to admit it, So saying that it might be a nod to Silent Hill, I think that's fair.
He borrows from Agatha Christie and a bunch of other films, so why not? Why not that?
Yeah. That would explain because otherwise, I don't know. Maybe it could be some deep lore, but let's go with Silent Hill.
I kind of like, I think it's a good question to ask because it's not a plot hole. It's just more of a question to ask. I like movies that leave you with questions that are good questions, not like how did Michael Myers drive from New York to California? Like, that's a bad question. I want questions like, why is the devil with bandages over its face, right?
Exactly. Like, what was more the design idea and the aesthetics behind it? Yeah. I would definitely also rather want to ask those kind of questions.
And I have another question for you. After Prometheus, The Invitation, and Upgrade, is Logan Marshall Green one of the best actors at just looking tortured and sad?
Yes. He does that really, really well.
He just always he pulls off sullen so well, and it makes me happy.
I appreciated him doing this in Devil, you appreciate the guy for doing it because he does it really well.
And you know what I like too is these 5 actors, we don't see much of them in other movies. They're not major A-list stars. So it was really kind of cool watching these 5 who probably weren't that big yet and they had to get hired for budgetary constraints, but they all did a really good job of that. And I I don't know if you've noticed this, but I like when there's fresh faces on screen.